Mr. President, I have 4:30.
Okay. Good evening. We'd like to welcome everybody to the regular school board meeting on today, Thursday, the 5th of December. We're starting it earlier than normal tonight because the literacy night is at the primary starting at 6. So we're going to get over there. Could you call roll, please?
Mr. Browning.
Here.
Mr. Steininger.
Here.
Ms. Landon.
Here.
Mrs. Malad.
Here.
Mrs. Webb.
Here.
Could we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Zaire Chavez, please report to the main office immediately. Zaire Chavez.
That's funny. Okay, if we could get a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Philo?
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mrs. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is approval of the minutes for the Thursday, November 7th regular meeting. Again, a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Philo?
Mrs. Webb.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is board reports and good of the order. We could start with Stephanie.
Sure.
A big thank you to Briston Wells, homeless liaison, and Emmy Brown, food service supervisor, for partnering with the Dayton Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club to provide 25 Thanksgiving meals to Fairborn families. These two staff members are leading with their hearts in supporting our students and families. As well, I had a tour over there of the food bank and of Briston's, and it's an amazing, amazing thing she's got going on. The amount of people that they serve each month, the amount of families and students is amazing. So a big credit to Emmy and Briston. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh.
Is it all?
They're just a little quiet today. All right. Well, thank you for everyone for joining us this evening. It's always lovely to see so many people here. I just want to say thank you to the FHS Air Force JROTC for your leadership and community service and collection of non-perishable food items for the Fairborn Fish Pantry. The group gathered over 600 items to support our community members facing food insecurities, and we thank you very much. Also, a big thanks to the Whited family for your support of the memory of Jennifer. Jennifer was a very special kindergarten teacher that we lost a few years ago. There has been a really cool effort to improve literacy for our younger students in her name. The family hosted all of the Fairborn primary kindergarten students with celebrity readers to talk about the importance of reading. Each Fairborn primary kindergarten student received the book Chick-a-Boom, and this is a great Fairborn family who gives back to make our community stronger. And I'd just like to give a special shout out to our music programs this weekend are putting on their winter celebration concerts here at the high school. They are free on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. and Sunday afternoon at 2, and we'd love to see everybody in attendance. It's a really special experience. If you haven't attended one before, it's very cool and a really nice way to kind of kick off the holiday season. So we hope to see you.
Tim?
December is always a very, very busy time for all of us. And again, as she just mentioned, I want to make sure everybody's aware that we have the musicals coming up and also a lot of athletic events that are coming, and make sure everybody can attend these events. The Spirit Shop will be open, and they have quite a few specials going, and the businesses and events features of many of those items. And we want to thank TCA Graphics as they're giving back a portion of their proceeds from the sale, so thank you.
Go ahead.
We want to thank a big thank you to Fair Creek Church and Abiding Christ Church for hosting the Fairborn Middle School Thanksgiving celebration for our sixth grade students. Your support is a tribute to our community connections, which support all of our families. I believe that day we served between 600 and 700 students, parents, and family members. So thanks to everyone that volunteered, and it was a great experience to be a part of, so thank you.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Leah Snow. She's a Fairborn Middle School student who represented the Skyhawks in the Fairborn community at the 2024 Dunkin' Donuts Philadelphia Thanksgiving Day Parade. She's a daughter of Stuart and Leanne Snow and is a 2024 varsity All-American cheerleader. And they're right, I see him sitting
Right
there.
there. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Also, Kylie Ott and Logan Gould represented Fairborn in the Macy's Day Parade. They both marched with the West Virginia Mountaineers Marching Band, so it's neat seeing our students representing the district and the city at these types of events, so thank you and congratulations. Next is, I'd like to thank Superintendent Gene Lawley. He served our schools and community with pride and a strong heart. He's worked hard to bring all of us together and to focus on creating a team where all are valued and heard. We wish him the very best in his next adventures. We look forward to hosting the community on a December 19th at 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock at the board building, an open house to see Gene. And with that, if we could have you come to the front, Gene. We could all go up, please. Even though Gene retires in January, or the end of this month, this is his last board meeting with all of us. And we've got a plaque, and I'll read it. It says, "Thank you for 12 years of service to the students and staff of Fairborn City Schools, 2012 to 2024. Your legacy will long be remembered." And I think a key word in there is legacy, so we wanted to give that to him. Thank you. You're welcome.
If I could make a few comments here, it won't be real long, but as I approach the end of my educational career in my time here in Fairborn, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank some people in various groups that I have had the opportunity to work with over the past 13 years. I've been very fortunate in my career to work with many outstanding people. But I can say without hesitation that having been given the opportunity 13 years ago to become part of the Fairborn family was truly a blessing. I would like to thank Mr. Dave Scarberry, who was superintendent at the time, and those board members who hired me as the high school principal in 2012-13. And those board members were Tess Little, Bob Carrico, Roland Parks, Tom Swain, and Mike Eaker. I will forever be grateful for the opportunity that they gave me to lead the high school for 5 very rewarding years. I would like to thank the following former board members and current board members for hiring me as superintendent over the last 6.5 years. Former board members Andy Wilson, Mary Reister, and Pat McCourt, and current board members Jerry Browning, Katie Malad. I thank you very much. I have commented a number of times that when I came to Fairborn, and wait a minute, let me back up a little bit here. Tim Steininger, I got ahead of myself. Yeah. Thank you, board members, very, very much. Wendy, Landon, thank you very much. Got ahead of myself there, senior moment, okay? I have commented a number of times that when I came to Fairborn and had the opportunity to tour our facilities, that it was quite shocking and disappointing as to the state of condition that our buildings were in. In viewing the facilities right after I was hired, one of many thoughts that crossed my mind was, what are we going to do to move this district forward in making our facilities meet the 21st century standards for our students? 13 years later, little did I realize that I would be a part of something that we would all be very proud and special to our entire district and community. Our board members, both past and present, voting to approve, and our community supporting 3 bond issues that transformed our entire school community and entire city. That is something very few communities in the state of Ohio would even support. But I am proud to say, by gosh, we did support that right here in Fairborn, Ohio. I would also especially like to thank our entire staff throughout the district. To our bus drivers, the challenges that you faced with every day in transporting our students safely to and from school will ever be so thankful. To our custodial staff, making sure our buildings are clean and safe so our students have a clean environment to learn in, and to our food services, and making sure our students are well fed so that they are not learning on empty stomachs. To our unions, the FEA, FCEA, and DPSU, thank you for your working relationship. We all together made this place a better place. Thank you. And to our teaching staff, for the quality of instruction that our students receive day in and day out. I mentioned how proud I was in being part of all the new buildings. And Dr. Brackenhoff, under your leadership, I am most proud of seeing our state report card go from a D to a B in all the hard work that made this possible. Lastly, I would like to thank our entire central office team, Gary, Amy, Rodney, and I'm looking around. I don't want to miss anybody here. I thank you ever so much. Much was accomplished through dialogue day in and day out, even when there was disagreement. But when we walked out the door, we all could agree on one thing, and those decisions were made for kids. I will always and forever hold fond memories for all of you and the Fairborn City Schools. Thank you for allowing me to serve the children of the Fairborn City Schools. Thank you.
That's hard to top. Okay, next is recognition of visitors and public comment.
Mr. President, we have nobody signed up to speak this evening.
Okay. I'll turn it back over to you then,
Okay.
Mr. Lawley.
Well, I'm very proud. Once again, we have Fairborn's finest here tonight. Student recognition for the highest possible score on state achievement test. Dr. Brackenhoff, I will turn this over to you.
Thank you. Tonight, we are here to recognize 20 amazing accomplishments by our students. Each year, hundreds of students take many, many achievement tests. This past spring, 5,895 tests were taken. Out of that 5,895 tests, we had 20 perfect scores, and we're here to recognize those students tonight. I'm going to start with our fourth grade. We'll start with ELA, go to math, science, and social studies. We've also invited their teachers here because these students continue to grow and achieve with the support of some really amazing teachers in the classroom. So students, when I call you, I'd like for you to come up, your teacher to come up with you. We want to make sure we get pictures, and your parents are also welcome because they are the ones that make sure you get to school every day. They support you at home in studying for tests and getting homework done. and they are your cheerleaders each and every day. So we will start with fourth grade ELA. We have 2 students with a perfect score, both from Mrs. Shank's class, Rosalie Grenier and Cora Houtland. If you could come up with your family. Yes. And then if you'll just stand here with the board so Mrs. Gayhart can get a picture. We'll get them all. Okay. We're going to move on to 5th grade ELA. We have 1 student with a perfect score, and that was Eliana Glover. I don't know if she is here tonight. We will make sure that, that she gets her certificate. In 7th grade ELA, an amazing 4 students with a perfect score. 3 out of Mrs. Boone's class and 1 out of Mrs. Loper's class. We have Caden Begley, Isabella Michael, Ava Rentz, and Leah Snow. If you will all come down. And congratulations to these 7th grade students. Moving along to math. In 3rd grade math, we had 3 students with perfect score. Xander Day, Altir Mohammed, and Wesley Robinson. And these students were in Mrs. Roberts' class and Miss Whitehead's class. I know, it's precious. You have to turn it the other way. Stand right here. This is fine, right here. Just go ahead and stand right there. All of you get together. That's right. Okay. We're going to move to 4th grade math, and in 4th grade math, we had 4 students with a perfect score. But I'd also like to have a special recognition for one of the students who's going to come up here that also came up for a 4th grade perfect score in ELA, and that is Leah Snow. Let me see. Let's see. Let me make sure. You know, did I get the right? I get the right one. You're not fourth grade. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. You started moving, and I saw you out of the corner of my eye, and my brain said Leah. Okay, fourth grade math. Let's go back to that. Stephen Charkinski, Rosalie Grenier, Colton Lambert, and Francesco Regato. These students all had a perfect score in fourth grade math, and we would like to invite their teachers that might be here, Mrs. Cornwell, Mrs. Shanks, and Miss Hilty. If you would come up. And now the correct student who is a repeat, and that's Rosalie Grenier. Congratulations to Rosalie. She is the only student with 2 perfect scores, both ELA and math. Those are the only 2 tests she took. We should have given you some more, I think. And now we'll move to 5th grade math. We have 2 students with a perfect score, Cyrus Kilburn and Olivia Strasser. And these students were both in Mr. Seelock's class. Then moving along to 8th grade math. Math gets a lot harder, but we have 1 student with a perfect score, Eric Johnston, in Mrs. Loper's class.
Not a repeat from last year as well?
Amazing. Perfect score 2 years in a row. I think we have some others that are repeats too. Moving along to 5th grade science. 5th grade is the first year the science test is given, and we have Leilana Kapinski from Mrs. Wardle's class. And Leilana and Mrs. Wardle. Thank you for coming tonight. And we will round out our 20 top students with our high school students in American government. We had 2 students with a perfect score, Jason Brandt and Keon Robinson. And Keon was in Mrs. Piercy's class, and Jason had a perfect score in American government this year, American history last year. That is everyone. And again, a big round of applause for our 20 students who scored a perfect score, and for the teachers, whether they could come tonight, which we so appreciate, or they are in their classrooms possibly still working, but thanking them for continuing to nurture and support these students, and for all of the parents out there. Let's give a big round of applause for these students.
Next up is athletic team recognition, Mr. Alexander.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here tonight to recognize 2 of our teams for winning the Miami Valley League Division title this year. We have our boys cross country team. This is the first division title that our boys have won in the MVL, so it's very exciting for the team this year. And then we also have our girls tennis that won the Miami Valley League Division. So I'm going to introduce the Coach of the Year in the Miami Valley League, Coach Josh Steck, and his assistant, Dimitri Furman, to come up and introduce his players.
Just so it's on the record, Coach Furman was the assistant coach of the year for the entire area, which is much larger than just the MVL. So congratulations, Coach Furman. All right, tonight, representing the girls' tennis team, we have Athena Richter. Come on up, Athena. Yeah, just go shake hands going down the line. I don't know what happens here. Karina Shilley. Congratulations. And Ari Mullins. Congratulations. All right.
It was important to get the mic back from Coach Steck. He told me he was going to have it for about 15 minutes, so. All right, congratulations, ladies. All right, our boys cross country coach, after seeing her down here with 3 students getting her picture taken with them for perfect scores, the expectations just went up for next year's cross country team. So, Coach Allie Roberts.
Thanks. Thank you, Thank you, Tito. Thank you. Representing my boys team tonight, I have 3 athletes here. I have William Bushelman. Come on down. It's like the Price is Right. Unless you can start with me and shake hands. Oh, wow, that was, beware. I have Matthew Wardle. You're probably going to be a little less aggressive, maybe. No. And senior captain Dominic Bushelman presenting the trophy to the school. I guess, do I go through now? Yeah, you do.
Let's get your picture.
My turn?
Are they going to present the trophy to you? Are they going to present the trophy to you?
Sure, I couldn't figure out whose trophy. You want to dismiss them if they want to go, or?
Yeah.
Or do you want
Hey, Kevin, you want to let them go if they want? Yep.
At this time, if you want to stay, you can stay. If you'd like to go home and get out of here before it gets dark, feel free to exit.
Yeah.
We'll continue our regular meeting here in about 60 seconds.
Hey, Rodney, they're all leaving. You must not be very interesting.
Okay.
We still have the facilities update.
There you go. I'm just looking ahead.
The rest of real quick. These, I was gonna, we got 5.
Oh dear, we do. Oh my goodness.
I was gonna cover them unless you want to.
You can do it.
Well, Jerry, I want to talk about 2 of the
Okay.
resignation retirements. Is that okay?
Yeah,
After we,
Yeah.
which ones do you want to talk about?
I'm going to talk about John and Jeannie.
Okay. You can do them all if you want, just mention the other 3.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
I thought maybe you,
I'll
okay.
turn it over. Well,
Okay.
Katie a lot of times does it, but I'll turn them over to you.
You're in charge this month. You may do gifts and donations.
With that, next up is our Director of Business Operations, Mr. Rodney Roberts, for a facilities update.
Good evening. Just got a couple updates for you. The first one I want to talk about is the abatement and demolition of Baker. That's kind of the one that's kind of ramping up right now. Currently, we are on schedule. I had a meeting with SHP and some other contractors that are going to be involved with that. January 3rd, we're going to have bid documents on the street. So everything will be out to bid on January 3rd. January 17th will be a pre-bid meeting with all of those that wish to bid on the project. And then bids are due, and we will open them on January 27th. And then from that point on, obviously, we will bring that contract to you to approve. And once that is done, that work can get started at any time after that. One thing that you will have on your agenda tonight is an SHP contract. It's a change of contract. So I just wanted to explain that a little bit. The original plan was to have SHP kind of do some of that back work, which they've already done, identifying, any lines that are underneath, any storm sewer drains and all of that thing that's around the building. And then Peterson Construction was going to sub the abatement and demolition out. It was my recommendation, and those that, we're working with, and including Peterson, agree. I think we have the best opportunity to get the best price and to save our money by bidding this project out versus subbing it out. Now we don't have to pay Peterson's markup plus all of the contractors. So that's the change that you see on the contract there, is that it's because they are now what was be considered our GC, our general contractor for the whole project. So they have to pay some other folks, out of that, Kleinger's, to do some of the grading and that kind of stuff after, and there's a few other contractors that are involved. So that's the change in that price. It's a good price. I've worked with them before on a project like this. Our hope is that we're bidding this through the winter and the cold months, that a lot of these demolition and abatement companies will throw a low number at that to try to get something to keep their guys working throughout the winter. So that is our hope. That is our hope with that. So if you got any questions for that, I'd be happy to answer any of those on that contract you're going to be looking at tonight. The other thing is not necessarily facilities, but it does have to do with a large, a purchase that we're getting ready to make. One is the truck purchase that you're going to see on there. Apologize, I didn't get information to you before this came out. We had one of our trucks, older trucks in our fleet that we use every day. We used to salt and to plow the lots. The frame rusted out in it. So I finally, since I started in July, the mechanics have came to me a couple times and have been like, "Are you sure you want to fix this?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's keep plugging away at it." With the frame rusted out, guys, we got to take it off the street. We have to do that. Jordan did a great job. Those things are not just readily available. You can't just find those Ford 350s with the snow packages on it and all the bells and whistles. We actually searched and found this truck with EPC pricing in Moorhead, Kentucky, is where so they drove it up to us. But that's there, the price, which, for a Ford 350 with all those bells and whistles, it was, $47,000, I think it was, which is a good price for that kind of truck. In addition to that, I also want to let you know, and when we get it, I'll give you more information. We are looking into a student transit vehicle too, a student transit van, to maybe use for some of those smaller midday routes that we have. Instead of putting 2 kids on a bus, we can use it as a van, and also maybe purchasing, at least getting one this year, possibly another one next year, to help with our tennis teams and some of those smaller athletic teams, to alleviate some of the pressure off our transportation and athletic teams. So we are looking into that. We just haven't found the right vehicle yet, but we are looking into that. So last thing is here at the high school, we still are on track for a couple of those projects over Christmas break, changing the inside locks on the doors to make those more convenient and user-friendly for our teachers in the event of emergency, and we have the exhaust thing going on down in the chemical storage room. So Really, that's all I've got for you tonight for a facilities update. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those, and if not, I'll give the mic up and move on.
No, I think you did a good job
Everybody good?
explaining. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Is that it? Okay. Okay, next on the agenda is budget and finance. Really just one item. It's the receipt of the monthly financial report. So if we could get a motion and a second, then if there's any questions.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
No.
Not Mr. Philo?
Mrs. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Steininger,
Yay.
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is administrative reports and superintendent recommendations. And this goes to the middle of page 6. A couple, I would think, notable things in here. You know, when I looked this over ahead of time, I saw Jody Austin's name on here. And Jody, I remember watching her play basketball a few years ago, and she was always a great team leader, always positive, and I saw her name coming back to help coach our girls now in basketball, which I think it's awesome whenever we got a Skyhawk that comes back to help like that. And then on page 3, there's some resolutions, and I'll turn it over to Stephanie for them.
Okay. We have resignations and retirements. And I see one of my retirements back there, Mr. John Barr. John has been with us for as long as I can remember, a long time.
Yeah.
As well, we're losing Jeannie Bolser, amazing woman, never says no to a kid, does anything for a student that anyone asks her to do. I've worked with her a lot, and she's amazing. She's probably a little more amazing than John, but not, but not much.
Oh,
As well, we have Debbie McFadden, resolution tribute 31 years. It's amazing. Melissa Shanks, Melissa, yeah, she, grade 4 FIS, 36 years of service. And Sarah Ryan, 32 years of service. We're losing 5 outstanding
right.
teachers. And they're, you know,
So I don't know if
hard to
you,
replace it at some point, but especially Mr. Barr. I don't know. Who's going to do March Madness? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know if you were letting him off the hook, but
No, I'm
for
not letting
John,
him
it's
off the hook.
32 years in education, 31 with Fairborn City Schools.
Ooh, what happened
That's
that first
awesome.
year? Where were you year 1? Oh, okay.
And then Jeannie Bolzer was
And Jeannie,
33 years
yeah.
in education, all with Fairborn City Schools. So
Impressive.
you're exactly right.
Just-
You total that up, that's over 150 years of service
Of
within the
amazing
district.
service.
Not just you, John. Not just you, John. But that's
But
outstanding.
really, who's going to do March Madness? I'm serious.
But really,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you, Mr. Browning.
Okay. Any other questions, comments on anything?
Need a
If not,
motion and a second
go-
first.
Go ahead. Did you want to say?
Do I need to abstain from this vote?
For what reason?
Marty's in there.
Yes.
Yes.
Marty's in there, you do.
Yeah, yes. Okay, Mr. Philo,
I need a motion and a second
motion and
first.
second.
Motion, I move.
I'll second.
So moved. I'll move.
Mrs. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Browning,
Yes.
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mrs. Malad,
Abstain.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Motion carries. Okay, next is gifts and donations.
All right. The Fairborn City Schools Board of Education would like to gratefully acknowledge the following gifts and donations. Hold, please. I'm getting old. Okay. The City Church, food for the Hawks Pantry. City of Fairborn employees, a $500 gift card for the Hawks Pantry. Julie Chun, $80 for the Ron McDermott Scholarship Fund. Joyce Dennis, $2,000 for the Ron McDermott Scholarship Fund. the First Presbyterian Church, hats, gloves, scarves for Fairborn primary students. Kirk and Amy Gayhart, $2,000 for the Turf Fund. Reese Distributing, Nathan Reese, stuffing and rolls for the Fairborn Middle School Thanksgiving Feast. And That Co-op, $108.90 for the Hawks Pantry. As always, thank you very much to those community members and organizations for supporting our children and our school district. Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is work session.
Mr. President, we only have one item for work session. We want to talk about the board meetings in January. In January, we have to have an organizational meeting and a regular meeting. Right now, the first Thursday would be January 2nd. As administration is proposing to move that to January 9th. It's usually a custom to move that so it's not so close to the
Right.
holidays. The only stipulation is we have to have the organizational meeting before the 15th. So is the 9th okay?
So be it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
All
good.
right,
Let's go to the 9th.
all right.
I think so.
With that, anything else for work session? Any board members, administration?
No.
With that, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session for the specified purpose of the employment or compensation of public employees.
You get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Webb,
Yes.
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mr. Steininger,
Yay.
Mr. Browning.
Yes. Motion carries.
The board anticipates we'll have an executive session. The only action we'll take then is to come out of executive session and to adjourn with no other action items anticipated this evening. Thank you for attending.
Thank you.